everyone, welcome to our class. This is our class 3rd. This is a summary class in which we are going to revise the topic whole on the chapter that is quadrilateral. We have already done class 1 and class 2. In a class 1 we have briefly studied about the types and the properties of the parallelogram. In our second class we are doing our midpoint theorem, which is a very important theorem of this chapter. Now this is our revision class, that is summary class. So let's get start the chapter. What is a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a closed figure with obtained by joining 4 points with no 3 points collinear in an order. Here the diagram of a quadrilateral is made, which shows if a point is enclosed in a closed figure, then the 4 points with no 3 points collinear. Collinear means not lie in a single line, is an order. Here ABCD is a quadrilateral. Parts of a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral has 4 sides, 4 angles and 4 vertices. 4 sides means this one, 4 angles means this one, and 4 vertices means this one. Now, 2 sides of a quadrilateral having no common endpoints are called its opposite sides. 2 sides of a quadrilateral having no common endpoints are called its opposite sides. 2 sides of a quadrilateral having no common endpoints are called adjacent sides. 2 angles of a quadrilateral having a common arm is called adjacent angles. 2 angles of a quadrilateral not having a common arm are called opposite angles. A diagonal is a line segment obtained by joining the opposite vertices. Angle sum properties of a quadrilateral. Sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is 360. This is known as the angle sum properties of a quadrilateral. Types of quadrilateral and their properties. Name of the quadrilateral. सबसे पहले parallelogram. A quadrilateral with each pair of opposite sides are parallel. Means all the sides are parallel. So the properties of it are opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, and diagonals bisect each other. After that, rhombus, a parallelogram with side of equal length. All properties of parallelogram means you have to take in all the properties that are parallelogram, and one new property is that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other, means they bisect and perpendicular at the same time. Next one is rectangle. Rectangle with all angles right angle, means a triangle, that means a rectangle is a shape in which all the angles are right angle. The properties are same as parallelogram, but each angle of the angle is a right angle, and next the diagonals are equal. Next, square. A rectangle with sides of equal length are known as square. All the properties of a parallelogram, rhombus and rectangles are there. Next, kite. A quadrilateral with exactly 2 pairs of equal consecutive sides are known as kite. As kite, which we are also used in our childhood also, that kite is there only. The diagonals are perpendicular to one another. One of the diagonals bisect the other. If ABCD is a kite, then B is equals to D, but A is not equal to C. Next one is a trapezium. A quadrilateral with 1 pair opposite sides are parallel is called trapezium. 1 pair opposite sides parallel. This is the properties of trapezium. Next one, important facts about quadrilateral are: if the non-parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, it is known as isosceles trapezium. Next, square, rectangle and rhombus are all parallelograms. Kite and trapezium are not parallelograms. A square is a rectangle. A square is a rhombus. A parallelogram is a trapezium. These are some important facts about quadrilateral. After that, the properties of the parallelogram. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. Next, the diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. The opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. The consecutive angles and conjoint angles of a parallelogram are supplementary, means sum of them is 180 degree. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Bisectors of the angles form a rectangle. Bisectors of angles form a rectangle. Next, quadrilateral is a parallelogram if each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, or each pair of opposite angles are equal, or the diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, or each pair of opposite sides is equal and parallel. Next, midpoint theorem. The line segment joining the midpoints of the two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and equal to half of it. Means if we are going to make a triangle, this triangle, then it is given that the midline, if it is a midpoint of this and this one, then it is actually a half of it. Converse of midpoint theorem is that the line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle parallel to another side bisect the third side equally. Means bisect का means होता है कि वो दोनों को बराबर बांट रहा है. After that, the formation of a new quadrilateral using the given data. If the diagonals of a parallelogram are equal, then it is a rectangle. If the diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other at right angles, then it is a rhombus. If the diagonals of a quadrilateral are equal and bisect each other at the right angles, then it is a square. Last point of this summary is, if there are three or more parallel lines and the intercept made by them on the transversal are equal, then the corresponding intercepts on any other transversal are also equal. So here we have completed our summary and the last class of our chapter 8, that is quadrilateral. So here we have completed the whole chapter fully and also include the two classes, that the class 1 is the properties of the parallelogram and the class 2, that is midpoint theorem. This is our class 3, that is summary class. Now we have completed the full chapter. Thank you so much for this class.